And we begin another incredible week together with Hachzeik Daily Moser. We're holding with the 8th chapter of Mesilas Yesharim, page 140 in the Artscroll Mesilas Yesharim. And believe it or not, incredible how far we've come in such a short amount of time. Today we're going to be learning B'derech Knias HaZerizos, the way to acquire Zerizos. Says the Mesilas Yesharim, Hine, Hoyem Soyim Asher Niknu Bam Zerizos. The ways to acquire Zerizos. It's the same like we learned. Chazara, beautiful. The same ways to acquire Zehiros. And the levels are the same levels. Like we learned above in the 4th chapter, says Mesilas Yesharim, because Zerizos and Zehiros are, Zerizos and Zehiros, says the Mesilas Yesharim, are very similar. The difference, the one difference is, one is ba'asei, one is the positive, one is the negative. The surah meirav asei toiv. So the Zerizos is the positive and the Zehiros was the negative. Says the Mesilas Yesharim. When a person thinks about and he gets the real value of mitzvah, and his incredible obligation, he'll certainly be inspired. He'll be Messiah his heart. And he will not become weak from him. And now when it comes to Zerizos, the Mesilas Yesharim adds on another way of acquiring Zerizos. What can you do to make it better? He just said it's the same. Says the Mesilas Yesharim, the way of acquiring Zerizos is just like acquiring Zehiros. But now he wants to give us a little added oomph. He wants to tell us how we can do a little bit better. Always be a little bit better. So says Mesilas Yesharim, who has staklos, you should look at what histakel, to look carefully. The great enormity of chesed, the goodness Hashem does with us. At every single moment. And the incredible wonders. From the time of your birth until this very moment. The more that you look at these matters, the more he'll recognize how much we owe HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then you owe Hashem. Of course, you're not going to be lazy in avodah. Since he certainly cannot pay back Hashem, lepachot, the very least. He should at very least offer thanks to do the mitzvahs of Hashem. Continues the Mesilas Yesharim. Such an incredible lesson. Every lesson is incredible, but this one really hits home hard. There is no person in any situation, poor or rich, wealth, good health or not, they can't find such incredible goodness that Hashem does for him. Regarding someone who's wealthy or healthy, it's pasha why he has to thank Hashem. You know why you should follow Hashem's mitzvahs? Because He gave you wealth. He gave you good health. The poor person also is obligated. He's poor, but guess what? Somehow you're watching this year. Somehow you have something. Somehow you have parnasa. Hashem didn't let you die in famine. Even someone who's sick. Hashem is keeping you alive, even within your sickness. Hashem doesn't let you just descend to the grave. In each and every situation, there's no person in the world that can't find something that he has to be makir the goodness and indebted to Hashem. Continues the Mesilas Yesharim. When a person focuses and you look into these incredible kindnesses and goodness that Hashem does for us, you'll certainly want to serve Hashem more and more. And certainly, if you think, where did all that goodness come from? It didn't just fall from nowhere. It came from Hashem. Like I wrote about, we just read that. And then whatever he needs and whatever is essential to you, comes straight from Hashem. No, and from no one else. Certainly not going to be lazy in the service of Hashem. And he will, and so that he will not be punished, and he'll not. You don't want to lose anything. Hashem's giving you so much, you don't want to lose it. You'll see, he says in Mesilas Yesharim, in this short little chapter, I included a lot. The same three levels that we found by Zehiros are over here by Zerizos. It's one entity. One from the other. So perhaps we have to go back, Chazer reviews Zehiros, and then go straight into Zerizos. And now gives you a quick synopsis. Those who are complete in das, where does inspiration come from? Their obligation to Hashem. These are the great, the complete people. The second level people. Comes from the recognition of the next world and its glory. We learned you don't want to be humiliated on that fateful day, when he sees how much more he could have done. And for all of us, the regular average Joe, like he went on to explain this world and all our needs, and for nothing more less, the fact that Hashem does good for us, continues doing good for us, that each and every person, this is something that we have to really spend time thinking about how much goodness we have. And the more we recognize where all this goodness comes from, each and every detail, even though we might need more. But what we have right now is so much goodness comes straight from Hashem, gives us the greatest chizuk to continue going and serving Hashem more and more. We'll pick up from here in the next year, Mirza Hashem.